Now, turning much closer to home, Secretary of State Condeleeza Rice traveled to Mexico today for talks with that country's foreign minister. The talks will focus on the recent surge in Mexican drug violence. This year alone, an estimated 4,000 people in Mexico have been killed in drug disputes. For more about this, we are joined by Rodolfo de la Garza. He's a political science professor at Columbia University. Mr. de la Garza, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
You know, I guess a question that comes up right away for Americans is, why is this violence seeming to explode so violently right now?
I think because the current government has tried to control it, and it is so deeply embedded in the Mexican state, the police, maybe parts of the military, that they're responding. And you really have a fight for control of territory in Mexico right now.
It looks almost like open warfare.
It is. In several states, that's effectively what it is. They have challenged the authority of the state, of the federal government, in certain states. They're trying to show that they run those states.
Is it possible that this violence could then bleed over north of the border?
Well, not in the same way, but it already has. I mean, you have gangs along this California border that are connected intimately to the Mexican cartels, where there's a tremendous amount of violence perpetrated by them as they're trying to set up their own drug operations. So you already have violence. It's just not high level. It's not so visible.
It's alleged that a great many of the weapons that are being used by these gangs to carry out the violence is coming from the United States. We certainly know that the demand for their product comes from the United States. So what is the American responsibility here?
Well, having spoken to numerous DEA officials, all of them agree that our consumption is at the root of all of this. They're not allowed to say that publicly. Most of them that I've spoken to would legalize drugs to just diminish that market. That's not something you could say, obviously, politically. But we are centrally implicated in the growth, expansion, and expansion of this violence. The weapons have to come from somewhere. And we're a very easy and good source.
So we're part of the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. de la Garza, thank you very much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.